This one is Blackout. Hopefully this one will work. This is a choose-your-own-adventure game set in a dark modern universe influenced by White Wolf's World of Darkness, H.P. Lovecraft, and weird shows like Twin Peaks. So this is going to be more of a narrative kind of thing, which is fair. I always have a little bit of trouble doing narrative games on this, but we'll give it a go. Start. 0 of 116 pages, I guess? I don't know. 11:23 p.m. A dark street. New Wenders. It's good art. You find yourself wandering on a dark street in the middle of the night. You can't remember how you got here, nor what you were doing before. There's not a soul in sight. The street is poorly illuminated and has lots of trash strewn about. You are sure you have never been to this part of town before, and as you hear a noise in the alley nearby, you start wishing it had stayed that way. This is straight up a choose-your-own-adventure. Check the alley. You cautiously approach the dark alley, look for the source of the noise while still wondering where the sudden courage for this came from. The alley is very narrow, and you can't tell how deep it goes beyond the point where the darkness swallows everything. There are lots of cardboard boxes and garbage cans all over, some randomly placed or turned over. Litter covers the floor. As you step over the first boxes, you feel a putrid acid smell that appears to come from the turned garbage can just ahead. The bad smell gives you an uneasy feeling and makes you reconsider whether it is such a good idea to walk into a dark alley in a desert street in the middle of the night. Yeah, let's turn back. Remembering what you have learned from all those horror movies, you walk back to the street. What the hell were you thinking? You need to get home and figure out what happened. You walk down the street, your steps echoing in the night. Every damn door and window are dead shut, most with chains and padlocks. Up ahead, you see a bus stop, and on the corner next to it, there is a payphone. Maybe if you can go home and relax a while, you can remember something, or at least understand why you blacked out. I guess we call a cab. Seems reasonable. You approach the payphone. It's been a long time since you used one of these. You get it off the hook, and for your surprise, it seems to be working. You reach your pocket for the wallet, hoping to have some coins for the call. As you open it, you see a picture of yourself on a hospital card. Flashback. Okay. That's an interesting way of, like, applying that idea. You're standing in front of a door made of smoky glass. I should have done the... You're standing in front of a door made of smoky glass. Your hands are shaking and you're sweating. You're staring at your feet, trying to gather courage. This is something you've never done before. You raise your head. The writing on the door says, William Hayward, MD. And you knock 3 times. Come inside, a voice calls. As you reach to open the door, you feel the doorknob cold as ice. It rapidly spreads through your arm on a chilling sensation. Oh, Richard, it's you. Come here, have a seat. You approach his desk and do as he says. So how is she? He asks. You know better than I do, you're a doctor. That's not what I meant, Richard. She's fine. I mean, as fine as can be, but she seems almost resigned. It is a tough fight. Oh, this is about cancer. It is a tough fight, but it can be... You don't need to give me this crap, Will. I know our chances. He stares at you for a moment. You've known each other for years. Does he have any idea what's going on inside your mind right now? Would he understand? And how about you? How are you holding up, Richard? He does. You can see it in his expression. Then why is it so difficult to ask? Yeah, about that. You take an envelope from your pocket and hand it to him. He takes it and opens without looking at you. Ah, cancer and drug abuse. moves his head, takes a pen, and signs the prescription. You take it and start walking towards the door. You don't have to walk down this road, you know, he says. It's a weird feeling, like you're learning something that you already knew, but was somehow long forgotten. The reality of you being a doctor seems very distant now, even the reality of your day-to-day life, like it was all just a dream. I didn't really keep track of names. I didn't realize the player character is the doctor. And all that weird talk with Will, you can't quite recall the context, whom you were talking about, it's all very fuzzy. Despite not being a neurologist, you are aware that confusion and amnesia are both symptoms commonly associated with head concussion, so maybe that's a plausible explanation. Even though you are not feeling any pain in your head right now, you have seen cases like this before. Maybe it is a better idea to go to your hospital before you go home, so you can perform some exams and make sure everything is okay. You find a few coins in your wallet, probably enough for a short phone call. You must find a card from a taxi company. No idea where it came from, but it seems rather appropriate. Let's go with the taxi route. Yes, I need a cab on... Yeah. The cab will be here in 10 minutes. The guy has a strange accent that you cannot identify, maybe German or something. You hang up and wait. The street is so quiet and lifeless that it gives you the chills. It feels like there is no other living creature in miles. You wonder how it looks during daytime. After 5 long minutes, he finally arrives. Oh, it doesn't look like a cab at all. It's an Uber. It's a 10-year-old Chevrolet model that is now out of line, but it does look like it has been well maintained, unlike most cabs. The only thing that denounces it as a taxi is the rear window where it advertises something similar to what you read on the card. All windows are pitch black and you can only see the driver through the smoky windshield. It's a white man, probably around his 30s, with a ring on his nose and a tattoo on the top of his head. Chapter complete. Courage, Sanity, Fitness, all 6. Visited 6 scenes. I guess that's it. Relatively short, but it does give you the sense of what's going on. I imagine, like, if we restart and take a different route, we'll get different information. Let's just go down the alley. Let's straight down the alley, see what happens. There's something like that Keep On Truckin', like that 60s art style. There's something about that in this pose. Is that Robert Crumb or is that someone else? I think that's Robert Crumb, but it might also be like the really scraggly 60s style. I can't remember. Go ahead. +1 courage. You keep on going, one nervous step at a time. As you get closer, the stench gets even stronger. It definitely comes from that turned garbage can, but you did not hear anything since you started walking into the alley. Maybe whoever made the noise heard you coming and left, or is waiting for you, hidden in the darkness somewhere. Or maybe it's just your imagination playing tricks after all. Kick the can. Oh, a timing game. Success. The sound of your boot against the metal explodes in the quiet night like a gunshot. You see an awkward shadow jumping out of the garbage can as it slides towards the wall, the metal scraping loudly against the floor. For a moment you look around trying to locate the thing, but it's almost impossible to distinguish anything amidst the darkness. You decide to go back to the street. As you turn your back to leave the alley, a beam of light is cast upon it. You immediately find the source, a window high on the left wall, maybe the 3rd floor, probably someone attracted by the noise you just made. You could use the light to search for the shadow or just go back to the street. It wants us to go back to the street, so we're not going to. The light is just enough so that you can start to discern things a little better, and you probably find what you were looking for, the awkward shadow cast on the right wall. It reminds you of a dog, but all twisted and very frightening looking. The legs and tail are incredibly long and the body is very skinny. The head has an awkward elongated shape, ending up on what appear to be short tentacles. You can't see the creature itself because it's behind a stack of crates, but you can easily go around or kick them. At this point, however, you are not so sure you really want to see it. This is where we get into the Eldritch stuff. Yep, lose sanity. You walk around slowly and quietly, trying not to scare the thing off again, while dealing with the ice block that recently formed in your stomach. The silence is such that you can hear your heart beating loudly with every step. What could it be? Some kind of mutation or hybrid from the sewers? Or maybe some scientific experiment gone wrong? With your hands shaking, your mind wandering on possibilities, you reach a point where you can see the thing, only to find out that none of your conjectures were right. Well, ain't that harmless? Ish. That's like an actual hand. On the top of the crates, you see an ordinary street cat skinny to the bones. Thin gray fur showing signs of scars and skin disease. It's glaring right at you, the small orange eyes glowing in the dark. He's holding something in his mouth, and it takes you a couple seconds to realize what it is, and making you feel instantly queasy. Things you saw in his head's shadow are not short tentacles, they're fingers. Cat holds a human hand in his mouth, his jaw firmly embracing the low end of the thumb, next to what is left of the wrist. Before you can take any actions, you're surprised by a loud and grave voice coming from above. Who the fuck is down there? Fucking bastard making noise in... Thank you, game. Making noise in the middle of the night. Get the hell out of here before I call the damn cops. Scared by the screaming, the cat jumps in your direction. The reflexes act quicker than you, and the next thing you know, you are crouched and the cat flew right over you, vanishing into the darkness afterwards. You look up to see the guy on the window, a bald and big black man going back inside. As you stand, you notice the cat drops something on his way out. The hand. Let's examine the hand. We're just going completely, like, crazy. You get closer to the severed hand, feeling the putrid smell stronger than ever. It looks like it has been decomposing for a few days now. It is possible to identify the bones in several spots, the flesh probably bitten off by small rodents. Despite that, you can tell it is probably a woman's hand, given the small size and thin fingers. One thing, though, draws your attention above all, a shiny gold ring on the hand's middle finger. Watching closely, you can see the white little worms walking all over the hand, coming in and out through small holes probably made by themselves. You quickly try to think of a way to pull out the ring without touching the hand. Use a scrap O paper. Grab a newspaper sheet off the floor and tear it into two pieces, using one to hold the hand and the other to wrap around the finger and pull the ring out. The exact moment you pull the ring out successfully, the light goes off and you find yourself once again surrounded by darkness. Yet put it in your pocket, don't wear it. Slide the ring into your pocket and start leaving the alley, trying not to make much noise. Success. And now we go back to this. Let's keep walking. Okay. So this seems like a valid approach on, like, choose your own adventure in a video game format. I saw typos. Grr. When it's a narrative, like, you're basically playing a book, so I'm gonna be even more critical there. Like, piece O paper. Grr. The music, like the supplemental stuff, the stuff that makes it more than just a book, seems fitting. The illustrations were not bad. Not as dynamic as maybe could be. Might be nice to expand on that. Excuse me. Now, obviously, it's hard to say what way anything's going to go from here. We only have the one chapter. I don't know. It seems like it could be okay. I feel like this is a very particular kind of game. Like it's completely narrative. It's completely you're playing a book. Like that's what's going on. So the question is obviously, are you cool with that, as it were? I don't know. It seemed like so far so good. Those three attributes: the courage, sanity, fitness. That didn't seem to influence anything yet. But again, one chapter, so